Hello, Taurus. Welcome to your reading with me, Cindy. Taurus, we're going to dive into God, Goddess energy for messages for you, as well as like looking at your energy too. I do a lot of that in this reading, looking at your energy. I am combining, they come together so well, my God and Triton deck and my Dark Goddess deck. So I'm going to start with those. Let's play with the cards here, Taurus. I was going to call you tarot. That's funny. Well, maybe some of you are tarot readers. And then I've got my Energy Oracle deck, Angel of Balance. And I have my Everyday Witch Tarot if we need it. So yeah, I'm going to look at your energy to start, your thoughts, motivation, and your feelings. And then I'm going to ask for advice for you now and advice for you in the future. So let's get started, Taurus. It's a general reading. It may or may not resonate, but if it does resonate and you're drawn to it, there is an extended, and the link to that is at the top of the description within this video. All right, Taurus, your God, Goddess energy reading. God, Goddess energy. What is Taurus's energy? Right now, they're thinking motivation and feelings. You're thinking perfection. There's something you want to perfect. Well, we're going to see what that is. I mean, it could be yourself. You want to perfect yourself. There could be something that you're working on that you're perfecting. It could be some sort of inner growth, a spiritual journey that you're perfecting. It could be something like it could be your routine. I'm hearing that it could be your routine. For some of you, you're perfecting your routine. So your motivation, your cards are coming out so fast here. You have skill. That's interesting. You're perfecting, your thoughts are about perfecting something. What's the motivation? Skill. Like to improve your skill. You have atonement and altruism. Wow. Okay, so it's almost as if this skill has something to do with paying back to the world, paying back to others, because atoning for something. And altruism is kind of like giving of yourself. The simplest form would kind of be like charity, to be charitable to others, to be of service to others. And it kind of is the perfection of creating that. Wow, this is really in sync. It's funny how these two guys look so much alike. I wonder if they were brothers in mythology. Nuada and Loch. They just look so much alike. It's crazy. And you have them both here. Perfecting your skill. Atoning. Okay. And whoa, what is this? There's a card here. Temptation. Dear woman. Now that's an interesting card. Yeah, sorry. It's about, you know, standing on the edge of the forest, about to do something that could be foolish. Dipping into something that's kind of like saying, if you're going to do it, just be aware of what you're getting yourself into and how deep you could end up going. So the temptation to do. Your feelings. What are your feelings? I cannot believe how fast your cards are coming out in this reading. Abundance, communication, and envy. It's almost like you're turning your thinking. You're turning your thinking. It's almost as if to say, I'm not, okay, the communication card, just hold it for a hot minute there. But the abundance, right, the green man, abundance, and envy. So your feelings are, is my abundance held back by the feelings that I possess? And why do I have the feelings that I possess? And I almost feel like the answer that you are, okay, communication. Like the answer that you are receiving is that there's something within you that you want to perfect. And maybe it goes a little bit deeper. Like it's almost as if like maybe seeing some people achieve certain things in life, achieve certain goals or status, whatever it could be. And kind of feeling like, you know, I wish I could have that, or I wish I could do that, or why can't I? Like, I'm good enough for that. But realizing like you don't have it, or you haven't received it to the level that you really feel that you could, or you should, or you're capable of. And it's kind of like getting deeper here and saying, well, wait a second. I'm perfecting. I think you are perfecting a bit, like the skill that you have for giving to others on some level here. It's almost like realizing the more that I give of myself in places that I have to give. I always feel like I need to put a disclaimer for people that are going through like a really horrible time. Like, actually, you know, even to say that, like if you are going through a really, really horrible time and you feel like you have nothing to give of yourself, I mean, sometimes that's true. Like, it's all you can do to get out of bed, feed yourself, look after basic needs. But when you get beyond that and you're feeling kind of like unwanted by the world, or rejected by the world, or the universe is against you, going and doing something like charity work, it can really, like, you might go into it thinking, no, I'm just going to feel like they're taking from me. You're actually going to be receiving so much back. It's like incredible. So it almost kind of feels like, maybe that's why I have to say it. This communication card is interesting, that it's kind of sitting here on its own. I feel like it's almost like we're communicating. Abundance communicating envy. Abundance communicating envy. It's also an interesting message for you to think, well, it says it's your feelings. Does abundance that you have communicate to people and it produces envy? Like things that we see in our lives are types of communication, body language, how people dress, how people walk, all these things are communication. Wisdom, inspiration, anger. This has been going around. I don't know if it's because we're in Aries season, but this like anger, there's intense cards. Like I would associate very fiery cards have been coming out all week with these. Oh my goodness. You have so many cards out here. I need a bigger table. Wisdom, inspiration, and anger. It's just kind of knowing, taking things that you've been through in life, utilizing that in a positive way to inspire you, to help you create, to help you manifest. I feel like there's a sense of energy in this reading about manifesting for yourself, but on a whole new level. Like almost like maybe reaching another level of sort of a conscious awareness that you have of who you are and how you work through life in that. Let's see what the Energy Oracle deck says to us. I want one card for each of these areas, if we can have that. Perfection. Okay, perfection is the thinking. Wow, perfecting your... Well, there's two cards there. Oh, the heart chakra. It's kind of reversed. So it's almost like perfecting your thinking. Rebalances your heart. Perfecting your thinking. Perfecting your heart chakra. Your motivation. Your motivation. Feelings. Your motivation. The community. Oh, isn't that interesting? Because kind of like, I mean, you can think of that. A community could be so many things associated with, excuse me, altruism, atoning. You know, this is kind of like if you've taken from the community on some level, like how do you get back to it? So if, you know, it's almost like that sense of if you've done something wrong and you go to court and they say, okay, you need to do 200 hours of community service. Like, that's what this feels like. I don't know, maybe some of you are literally like going through something like that and you're dealing with the emotions that that produces. I do feel like you're seeing some sort of wrongs that you've done in the past and correct them, wanting to correct them. Has something to do, though, with perfecting your thoughts around things. Because, you know, I said that part about, you know, if you've done something and you've been found guilty of it and the court says you need to do like 200, 300 hours of community service. I'm getting like this anger rage that's sitting behind it. And this too, like, he just looks so intense. And what I felt with that was there's something that you could have done, but you were kind of justified in it. So let's put it as an example like this, you know, because the laws can be funny sometimes. So, although I think they're different, like here in Canada, they are in the US. So, but an example, I believe, if it's still correct, like someone could break into your house here in Canada and they could threaten your life and they could come at you. And if you defend yourself and you killed them accidentally, well, that's too bad. You're pretty much going to be sentenced for murder or maybe manslaughter. I don't know what. I mean, it's a severe example because you probably wouldn't just get community service for that. But it is kind of like, well, you know, this happened to me, so I had to do that. Or you found yourself homeless without any money and a big bank or a corporation went bankrupt, paid off all the CEOs and didn't have anything left for anybody else, right? Like, it's completely unjust. It really is. And then so you had no choice but to steal some bread, steal some bread at a farmer's market or something. Like, you know, like, it's not fair. But then so you go to the court, you go to the courts and they said, did you steal the bread? Well, yeah, but did you steal the bread, right? Because it's cut and dry. So, yeah, I stole the bread, but I had nothing to eat. And then this happened, and that happened. The corporation did this. And then the bank. And it says, okay, we understand that they were unusual circumstances. However, you did take from the farmer's market and you caused a big ruckus. Is that the word that I'm looking for? And so you need to do community service. So what we're going to get you to do is you're going to be at the farmer's market every morning at 5 a.m. and you're going to help anyone who needs get their tents set up. So you see what I mean? It's almost like you can feel this, like, okay, something is unjust here. This isn't right. But I've got to change. Okay, abundance, communication, and envy. So this can also be like if you've gone through something difficult or you have lost your abundance on some level, it almost like creates communication in your mind, like envy. You hear this. You hear this. I mean, my example was, you know, serving a pretty basic human need, though, of needing food. I'm just trying to keep it fairly simple, although we did talk about manslaughter. Oh. But trying to perfect your thinking. So instead of seeing yourself as a victim and identifying yourself as a victim, because that's kind of, you know, maybe where the switch is coming in here. Yes, this did happen. You did lose your job. You did lose your home. You did, you know, whatever, and you ended up hungry. Instead of stealing the bread from the farmer at the farmer's market, maybe you could have gone up to the farmer and said to them, you know what? I'm in this really difficult position. I know often you hire people. They do. They get people from migrant workers that will come in and work on the farms. And you know what? It's hard work that a lot of people don't want to do in these areas. Could say, could I work to get some room and board and food and get back on my feet for you? Oh, okay. Right? Like, there's a different way that you can find atonement. Or even like atonement for things that have been done wrong to you. Different ways of looking at this, right? And I'm just like, your thoughts here about your thinking, perfecting it. Perfecting how you react. Perfecting what leads and guides you. right? Like not having the heart chakra reversed. Perfecting your thinking around your situations. Feelings. Your feelings. Taurus's feelings. George's spirit. Oh, I love it. With abundance and communication. It's hearing the right things now. It really is. It's hearing things that serve your higher good as opposed to your, oh gosh, why is my brain not functioning today? As to your lower needs. I mean, food on some level could be seen as a lower need. I mean, if you're just feeling hungry and you succumb to that, but you're not starving, I guess on some level it is serving you a lower need or giving into a lower need. Although you are Taurus, food is definitely a priority. But you know what I'm saying? Like, so door to spirit, your feelings is as if, I think the universe is trying to talk to me. I think there's a lesson to be learned here. Oh, anxiety in the third chakra. And you, whoa, ooh, this is so interesting. Anxiety, third chakra, and healer of the ages. This really feels like, kind of like being in your head about what it is that makes you confident, where you get your confidence from, and healing that. So there might be something going on. There might be some level of ego. I'm hearing ego transformation. Like you can't continue to always break down your ego. You need a level of your ego to survive in this world the way it is. And that's interesting too, because we had angel of balance. So it's almost like instead of breaking down your ego in some level, it is transforming your ego. Being in your head about it while you're perfecting your thinking. Oh yeah, I did the energy oracle deck. All right, I'm going to go and ask for advice for you now and advice in the future. So remember you had wisdom, inspiration, and anger, and rage. Because I'm going to shuffle those back in. Okay, advice for Taurus now. Advice for Taurus now. And in the future. Advice for Taurus now. Guidance, Odin. Ooh, listen to the father. Listen to the father. So I don't know if you have a father you could listen to right now. That's interesting. It really feels like it might be coming up as an older figure around you. We'll see how that develops, how that shifts and changes. It just keeps feeling like an older figure. I mean, it could be anybody. It could be an actual father. It could be an uncle. It could be an older brother. It could be a neighbor, like someone around you. Advice in the future. Chaos. Whoa. Sad chaos. Embrace big changes and shifts. Ooh, you have resurrection at the bottom. Isis. Definitely going into a new beginning here. Like rising yourself up from who you were in the past. Again, you had anxiety, third chakra, healer of the ages, and angel of balance. Those are all going back in. This guidance with Odin. Listen to your guidance. Your advice is to listen to your guidance. If any of you have like even spiritual guides that you connect with easily and they are giving you advice, to kind of follow it and to listen or to tap in a little more than you usually do. Advice now and in the future. Christ now. Appreciation. Okay, I'm going to explore this more with the tarot, because I feel like for you, this guidance is someone outside of you. It definitely feels like an older masculine energy. So this is someone who I feel like has been where you've been with appreciation. They can appreciate what you're going through, or they can appreciate something that you're trying to refine about yourself. Or they can appreciate what your goals are and trying to shift your thinking to meet those goals in the future. Action towards chaos. Or, well, now that's interesting, because as I drop that card, the action is going in the opposite direction of chaos. Victory, and it's the only card at the bottom. Well, that's nice. Okay, you're on your way here to something. Something good. But there is definitely, yeah, shifting your thoughts. I'm still coming back to that scenario where, you know, instead of stealing the bread or the sausage links or whatever they were from the farmer's market, is because I'm a victim, I need to take what I can. I need to run quick with it. The world doesn't give me anything. It just always takes. Like, that's a terrible victim mentality that will just leave you in a state of lack. And you will just keep walking into, because you're manifesting. Your thoughts and your feelings are always manifesting, whether you believe in it or not. It's like, you know, it just so happens. Like, whether you believe that the sun rises or sets, you're going to do it. So, like, so that's how you end up continuously being in that energy. But see, and then that's a sense of giving of oneself. Instead of feeling like, I need to steal what I can here to survive because the world doesn't give me anything, I'm going to see if I can offer to help this farmer at that stand. It seems like an older person, always kind of slow to get set up. Even something like that. Like, do you need help setting up every Sunday morning or whatever it is, and finding out, oh, I do different events, different places. Oh, interesting. It was like this old, almost like from the person that you could have taken from. Instead of taking from them, you shift your thinking. You almost shift, like, I'm almost talking about like shifting from a reality that you were on here to going over to reality here. And instead of, oh, that old guy's not paying very good attention, I can go quick and grab a couple loaves of bread and take advantage of that and get that bread. Whereas, you know, this person could have shared a wealth of information for you. I want to say could have, because it's your advice. So I almost feel like there's a scenario that could be playing out for you fairly soon, where you may feel like, I really need to take what I can here before I don't have anything. But change your thinking, perfect it, and notice a weakness and ask how you can support it or you can help it in someone else. And then by doing that, you might even end up, you know, that person may look weak of body or not too quick, but they're going to have a lot of experience and knowledge up there that they can share. And they'll appreciate where you're coming from. You don't know, this guy could be a convict or something, and he's been through it. That's so interesting. Five of Swords and King of Swords. Wow. The Five of Swords and King of Swords. It's almost like, instead of messing with the truth, look at it for what it really is, right? Well, you do that. You're perfecting your thinking. Face something. I kind of feel like it says face something that you've tried to avoid too, with the Five of Swords into the King of Swords. Face something. So Who is Odin? Who is Odin to Taurus? Like, how would they know? Who is Odin to Taurus? The Nine of Cups. So, it's exactly what you've been looking for. It's exactly what you've been looking for. What you've been hoping for. Advice in the future. Move away from, I want to say move away from chaos. The Five of Pentacles. So chaos could be the Five of Pentacles. Whoa, geez. What are we just talking about? Like, so you lost your home, you lost your job, and you're, you know, walking through the farmer's market looking for something. Is that the Five of Pentacles? That being out in the cold. Action. Action. Whoa. The Ten of Wands to the Empress. Look at how that shift in thinking can change everything. Carrying this heavy burden. And look at this Ten of Wands is walking back over here to this chaos and Five of Pentacles. But no, that's not the... Get rid of the burden. Yeah, leave it over there. And this is amazing abundance. This is like this really great Taurus energy. All this Venus. Venus incarnate. Choose situations that allow you to grow in abundance. And sometimes those situations present themselves as, you may see it as an opportunity to take advantage of something because advantage has been taken of you. But if you switch your thinking and see where you can offer help, where someone might need it, you find yourself being the source of abundance. Being the source of abundance. I like that. Yeah, that's kind of what this is. The Knight of Swords is at the bottom. Moving quickly, clearly, with intent. Quite strong intent. All right then. All right, Taurus, I'm going to go do the extended. In that, I'm going to ask what you don't really or fully see about yourself. So that's what I'm going to do there. Thank you so much for that fascinating reading, Taurus. Until next time, do be gentle with yourselves. Bye.